Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back for a Monday edition of the Steel City Sports Report, where we talk all things Steelers, Penguins, and Pirates. I am your host, Brady Vini, and keeping things short, today's report includes: the Steelers continue to lose their grip of a home playoff game. Should the Steelers consider bringing back this controversial player? Breaking news, a signing that Pirates fans have been waiting for is finally made, and more. As always, please be sure to like, comment, and share this video, as well as subscribe to the channel. Now let's get into the first news story of the day. The Steelers continue to lose their grip of a home playoff game. On Saturday, the Pittsburgh Steelers did battle with their division rival Baltimore Ravens and lost 34-17. The Ravens offense started off the game humming, and the Steelers had no response for Derrick Henry. With the game tied at 7 in the second quarter, it looked like the Steelers were going to score again, but a game-altering Russell Wilson fumble inside the 5-yard line gave the Ravens momentum and the lead at halftime 17-10. Both teams would have back-to-back punts to kick off the third quarter, then exchange touchdown drives. Finally, in the fourth quarter, the Steelers had another glimmer of hope as Minkah Fitzpatrick got his first interception in what felt like forever. Unfortunately, the worst possible thing occurred for Pittsburgh as Russell Wilson threw a pick-6 just 2 plays later, and the rest of the game was history. In my opinion, this was probably a worse game played by the Steelers than in Philadelphia. It was just a doom and gloom scenario from start to finish. The Steelers were down 4 starters, 3 of them on defense, and lost Joey Porter Jr. in the first quarter with a knee injury. All game long, they were playing catch-up on the scoreboard and on the field, as Derrick Henry ran all over them for 162 rushing yards. Add on Russell Wilson having 2 turnovers that costed them 14 points, and the Steelers recovering 0 of the Ravens' 3 fumbles, the black and gold had no chance. Even though they lost their second game in a row, everything is still in front of the Steelers. If they win their last 2 games of the season, they'll still clinch the AFC North. The bad part is that those games are against 2 high-power offenses in the Kansas City Chiefs and the Cincinnati Bengals. The first of those last 2 big games is on Christmas Day, when the Steelers try to take down the reigning Super Bowl champion Chiefs and the NFL's golden boy Patrick Mahomes. With all the injuries and on-field issues that they're having right now, the Steelers are going to need a Christmas miracle on Wednesday. Mike Tomlin press conference news and notes. With this being a super short week and the team playing on Wednesday, Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin held his weekly press conference on Sunday. Recapping the Baltimore game, Tomlin emphasized that turnovers and their inability to stop the run gave the Steelers no chance to secure victory. He said that some players were, quote, trying to do too much in that game, with the Steelers missing a lot of players on defense. Moving on to the injury front, Tomlin said that wide receiver George Pickens, safety Deshaun Elliott, defensive tackle Larry Ogunjobi, corner Dante Jackson, and quarterback Justin Fields have a real chance to play this week. Man, what a boost it would be to get some of those guys back, especially Pickens and Elliott. As for corner Joey Porter Jr. and wide receiver Ben Skoranek, who are both injured in Baltimore, they too are questionable to play, but Tomlin added that they're, quote, probably going to have a difficult time showing for this one. Lastly, Tomlin was asked about a former Steelers player who is now available and will be named in the next segment, and if he or the team has any interest in bringing him back. Coach T answered, "I have nothing to add about someone who is not in our football team right now." Following his press conference, I'm sure Coach T went back to work vigorously preparing for this crucial game on Wednesday. Should the Steelers consider bringing back this controversial player? After being traded to the Panthers this past offseason and then flipped at the trade deadline to the Ravens, former Steelers wide receiver Deontay Johnson is having an all-time drama saga in Baltimore. Well, that saga officially came to an end on Friday. After suspending him 2 weeks ago and excusing him from team activities this past week, the Ravens have now put Johnson on waivers. The 28-year-old and one-time Pro Bowler barely saw the field in Baltimore and became malcontent. Apparently, a former teammate of Johnson in George Pickens, Michael Brewerly, wink wink, wants him to return to Pittsburgh, commenting on X, "Bring 18 home." Johnson can be claimed by any team as early as Monday at 4 p.m. Would you guys like to see the Steelers bring Johnson back for the rest of the season? It's not like they're loaded at wide receiver right now heading into playoffs. Let me know in the comments below. The Penguins couldn't find their footing against the Devils on Saturday night. After the Steelers lost to the Ravens on Saturday, the Pittsburgh Penguins also went down in defeat 3-0 to the New Jersey Devils. The Pens recorded just 12 shots, their lowest single game total this season, but honestly, that game was a crapshoot from the start. On top of the Pens losing 3 of their last 4 in New Jersey heading into that game, the Devils Arena must have had a basketball tournament or something earlier that day, as the ice wasn't put down until 3 hours from puck drop. Regardless, if the Pens take 4 or 5 points out of their next 3 games, then nobody's going to remember that loss. Game 2 of this 4 divisional game stretch is tonight in Philadelphia against the Flyers at 7 p.m. And finally, breaking news, the signing that Pirates fans have been waiting for is finally made. The news that Pirates fans have been waiting for finally came this Monday morning. No, unfortunately it's not the ultimate Christmas present of Bob Nutting selling the team. Instead, it's the Pittsburgh Pirates announcing this morning that they have re-signed designated hitter, organization legend, and Pittsburgh icon Andrew McCutchen to a 1-year, $5 million contract. The former National League MVP and 5-time All-Star was still one of the Bucks' better hitters last season in a lackluster offense, appearing in 120 games and hitting a .232 batting average with 20 home runs, 50 RBIs, and a .739 OPS. If this upcoming season should be McCutchen's last, then it is super fitting that it's with the Pirates. What would be even more fitting is if the Bucks can get him to the postseason one last time. Please don't sit on your hands this entire offseason, Charrington and Nutting. All we want is one more Bucktober with Kutch. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up a Monday edition of the Steel City Sports Report. Again, please be sure to like, comment, and share this video, as well as subscribe to the channel. There will be no daily edition of the Steel City Sports Report for at least the next 2 days. I'm going to leave myself open-ended here and say I have no clue what or if I'm going to be doing any live streams or videos for the rest of the week. But regardless, I want to wish each and every one of you a happy holidays and a very, very Merry Christmas.